Here again with us, so I'm a little subtler. You know what?
You can make the difference.
Oh, okay, that's a big difference there. Okay, when he sits with the president, we know who's who. So that's it. I'm not going to do any more special acknowledgements. We're done with that. Well, I guess I should acknowledge that this event's been held on the traditional lands of the. I forgot which land that we're meeting on today, but Bankstown's a special land in itself, and I pay respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. For our new guests, welcome to the Australian Arab Business Council. This is a fantastic networking group. We try to break down the barriers of business, really just connect one-on-one with each other. Everyone in this room is pretty much like-minded. We're here to do business, we're here to learn, and we're here to grow together as a group. And of course, we do have some delicious food prepared by the great people of Villa Blanca. So actually, if we can do this now, give them a big round of applause for the efforts that they put in. The music does look fantastic. So we're here to build a relationship amongst each other, and of course with those overseas, and that's which we stand for. We'd like to acknowledge our platinum sponsors, and that's Sam the Paving Man. Our foundation partner is the Aabc Australia Limited, affectionately known as ABL. Where's our bank guys? There we are. There's Tony at the back. Thank you very much, Tony. And our silver members, we have All Star Solutions, Naturally Timber, Ace Polystyrene Products, Hamden & Associates, Advanced Timber, FloraEnterprise.com, and R. Gregory Chromo Print. A big round of applause to all our sponsors there. Excellent. So today, we're doing a members showcase, and that's just a real opportunity to get members from our group to tell us a little bit about themselves, their journey, so we can understand them a little bit better. And we'll have Jeanette Issa moderating those discussions. We'll have 3 people that will come up on stage, and we'll get to know them a little bit more. These are 3 people that you would have met meeting after meeting, time after time, and now's the opportunity to get to know them a little bit more. But before we do, we'd like to call upon our president, Mr. Rodney Hampton, to the stage to give his presidential address. Please take the mic.
Thank you, George. Welcome, everybody. Good night. Good evening. It's always exciting for me to be at the podium to welcome members and friends. I really look forward to this every month. This month is a bit different because we've got so many members actually visiting overseas, particularly Lebanon. So hence we see that a couple of tables are not full. Ordinarily we always have up to 100 members attending this. For those newcomers to the Business Council, we started back in 2006, and we started as a business networking group. We continue to be a business networking group. We changed our name to become a business council. So now we, in addition to networking, we share knowledge, we create friendships, and most of the people in this room have known each other for the last 17 years, and they've developed some, relationship in business and in friendship as well. As I said, I look forward to these meetings every single month. This meeting is particularly different because we're doing showcasing. We've got 3 successful members in business who have been in business for a long time, and I myself take the opportunity to learn from their experience, be it good or bad, and how they managed to succeed in business and how they basically jumped over obstacles to get to what they are. And we can learn, we can have the opportunity to ask questions. I'm sure Jinan will do a good job in extracting the best of knowledge and the best of experience so that we can learn from your experiences. I look forward to this. I welcome you all tonight. We hope to finish on time. I like to do that in my tenure actually, because before we used to finish around 10 o'clock, so we try to limit it by 9:30 out of here. Welcome to everybody, and we look forward, and I'll give the telephone back to George. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rodney. And it gives me great pleasure to give the microphone to Jeanette Issa to help us with the moderation of the interview. So can we please welcome Jeanette Issa to the stage.
feel like this is a buzzy, like a practice, yeah, something like that. Although it's a bit intimidating, these big beautiful couches. For our first guest, before I sit down, I'd like to introduce Samir Mirbani from Australian Chemical Research. Samir has been a member with the Aabc since 2008, so he's cracked 15 years. Please welcome Samir. Cool.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear us? All right.
I'm sure they'll let us know if they can't. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Samir, why don't you start us off by giving us your technical background? I just want everyone to get a bit of an idea as to who you are from an academic perspective.
I came to Australia, I was about 10 years old, as a refugee from the war in Lebanon. Didn't know any English at all. None of our family knew English. We didn't have much actually education in Lebanon before we came as well, so I don't remember much classes in school. And came to Australia with no English experience of language at all. Had to study something with no English actually, because I was failing mostly the English language in school. So I chose something around the chemistry field. I went into high school and then I went into TAFE chemistry certificate, chemical technology, and then to uni after that. While I was at uni doing part-time, my background, my family's background, all mechanics, uncles, dad, everyone. So I used to know a lot about mechanics. But one day I was repairing this mechanical work on Saturday and Sunday part-time at Harris Park, I remember. And a neighbour came out and seen me under the car, and then she said to me, what do you do? I said, I'm studying chemical technology. She said, why are you repairing the car? How are you gonna? I said, I've got an experience of mechanic. And she said, maybe you want to come and work with us on Monday? But it was on Saturday, so I said to her, I don't have any experience at all. She ended up telling me about herself and the company. She was from White Pharmaceutical and Smith & Nephew doing diagnostic system medicine for the cancer in the bowel and all that. So she asked me straight away to work with her. I went into that field for about 7 years and then I opened my company.
Fantastic. So that's basically how you got into that's how you established Australian Chemical Research?
Yeah, that's right.
So how old is Australian Chemical Research?
In 1993 I registered the company.
Wow, so
30 years.
30 years?
Yeah.
Wow, nice. Congratulations. Okay, so 30 years. What do you guys do in a nutshell?
I've started doing lubricants and specialty products for the cars, mostly in the special industry of lubrication. So started to fiddle around researching every part of the cars, what kind of grease and lubricant it needs. And we probably didn't know much about greases and lubricants at that time, but every part in the car has different grease. I tried to get specified and specialist applications for those greases and started making them at that time. And during those days there was the fuel injection started coming in, and I did the first WINS product for fuel injection.
WINS?
WINS.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
And then after that there was mostly imported silicone emulsions in Australia. There was none made here, so I went into something like producing my own emulsions in silicones. That was a competition with Dow Corning and Rumpel at that time. And then started doing this tire shine out of it and armor all and products like this.
Oh, fantastic. Very good. Just a random question, not too random because we all can relate. How did COVID affect your business? I mean, you're still around, which is fantastic, but for that 2-3 year period, how did you guys survive it?
Well, COVID, when it first 2019 started showing up in China, we've started to lose a bit of the automotive industry with greases and lubricants and additives to cars. And I made it up by going into the medical side of the kind of sanitizers, endoscope cleaners for the endoscope telescope, enzymes to clean those endoscopes, as well as air purifiers and water purification with hydrogen peroxide. So this was the field moved away from the automotive industry, started going into medical at that time, which gave us a better business, better opportunity during COVID.
So your company was one of those that lost business obviously during COVID, but you grew as a result of changing market and changing needs?
Yeah.
Excellent, that's great. Very good.
During, just a point here, during the Legionnaire disease, if you remember the Victoria air conditioning system in the aquarium, we've developed something for that and we won the award for that invention as well. So this is what we started on the medical side.
Fantastic, very good. So you've mentioned the products or some of the products. I know you've got other products that you manufacture and produce. Did you want to talk to us about some of those products?
Well, now we're doing everything with the new applications, trying to move away from the things that are damaging to the environment, like chlorine-based products and anything with chlorine and anything that damages the ozone. We're just moving away from it. So I'm researching a lot about the hydrogen peroxide substitution to chlorine in swimming pools now, in spas, in purification. We're developing, the last 10 years I've been working with a Malaysian company whose their focus is purification of air, purification of water, and reducing the frequency effect on the brain from the telephones and the computer system. This is the 3 jobs that we're working on now.
Well, fantastic, congratulations. You've also got a fancy bottle that was on your table, can't see it. Did you bring it with you? No? Well, why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, maybe just have a look at that tub. It's only 500 gram actually. If you look at the screen around you now, this is the latest work we're doing with V-Breathe. This is an air purifier machines. The one that you can see on the screen is a household one. There is this company at Malaysia is focusing on the medical side of that air purification. So this 500 gram you see in Joe's hand up there can sterilize a room as big as what we are in now in 4 hours in those machines. Can take every corner of that room here into a pure air with no germs, no virus, and no bacteria. So no effect at all. This could last for about 3 to 4 months in that machine. And the company who developed the machine itself was selling it for only essential oils and fragrances. The idea of purifying with that machine, so they liked it. They've spent already over $15 million of advertisement on it, and we've just started the first order this week for this product to go into those machines. We're the only exclusive.
About to ask. So you are the exclusive manufacturer
for V-Breathe.
For V-Breathe. Congratulations. It's really exciting. Yeah, that's wonderful. Congratulations. Now, final question. because I'm sure we can sit here all night. As Aabc members, how can we help and support you in your business? Be it to, in contacts or in another skill set. How can someone in here potentially help you?
In the products that I'm making in Australia, or in the lubricant side, or the swimming pools, would be marketing. I'm not a marketing person. I've never had the experience of marketing.
Any marketers in the room?
George.
Put your hand up, George.
The only good contact and word by mouth that I've got with the big companies is that I produce for them whatever they tell me to do. So they have the market already planned and everything. But for a lot of products that I have, I don't have any marketing. So this is the only one. Now, one thing about this product actually is there is two concentrations of it that we make for different fields, airports, hospitals, as well as commercials. Now, the higher concentration one, I prefer to make it overseas instead of making it in Australia and shipping it, because the shipping on it as a DG product or a very high concentration, by plane or by shipping, it takes too long. So I'm just looking for people who can manufacture in the Gulf now for it.
So Gulf-based manufacturers, if anyone's got any contacts, that would be really useful for Fadi. Sorry, not Fadi. Fadi's just walked in, that's why I said Fadi. Hi Fadi. For Samir. So thank you very much. I think we'll leave it there. This was wonderful and very insightful. I will give, if anyone has one question, anyone wants to ask one question, I'll give you an opportunity. Otherwise, we'll probably come back at the end if someone can think of a question then. No questions? Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
For our second guest, now, he actually needs no introduction. I'm going to try and remember all of these. Please welcome to the stage the one and only Isa Shawish from PMRT. Now, Isa is a founding member of the Aabc. He's been here since day one. He is a member of the Foundation Advisory Committee. He has served 10 years on the board. What else is there? There's probably another 15 titles, but let's go straight into sitting down and getting to know you more.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And everyone here, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. My name is Isa Shawish. I'm a civil engineer. Finished engineering at Manchester University. And then after that, I went to Jordan. So I served the army for 2 years. I was in the army for 2 years. And went into work in construction. So worked in construction for 5 years. And I've always wanted to have my own business. So I went to Dad and said, like, Dad, give me some money, and like, I want to start my own business. And he said, no, like, I spend money on your education, so you do it yourself, Yeah. So left Jordan in 88, went to Saudi Arabia, and then the Gulf War started in 91, and we had to leave Saudi Arabia. So came to Australia, migrated to Australia, and then in Australia, like back in 91. So like there was a big recession, so there were like no jobs, nothing to do. I didn't stay for long. It was only like 4 months, and the war ended, and we went back to Saudi Arabia for 3 years. So they came back to Australia in '94, and straight away I started a business, which is consulting business. And maybe it was a mistake that I started the business because I didn't have the network. So So like started like survived for 2 years, and then but it was like really tough time. So we decided to go to Malaysia. So went to Malaysia for 4 years, and after finishing work there, I decided I start another business, which we started the business and then started going around like it's a consulting business, and they go like, which political party are you with? I said, well, what political party? He said, to be in business, like you have to align yourself with a political party, and you need to have someone who is like high ranking within government to be able to get work, So also like stayed for another 2 years and then decided this is it. Came back to Australia and then started PMRT Consultants in 2002 and been doing a lot of government and private sector work, but working on large infrastructure projects. So currently like PMRT Consultants for 21 years. And I'm also the Vice President for Society of American Value Engineers, SAVE International, and the +4 chapter. It's something that we started in 2020. And then the Media and Political Officer for the General Union of Palestinian Engineers. So like Palestinians, it's not just engineering, politics has to be in there, Yeah. And I haven't added everything here. So like on weekends, I help my daughter at her cafe businesses in Utah. So she has a weekend cafe, I go there on weekends. And I'm on the advisory committee for the Aabc. And I was a board member for 10 years. And also like starting a new business, which is trading services. So something, trading services. Trading.
As in trade?
As in trade, yeah, that's right, yeah. So like this is a new venture that we're going into, but it's early days.
Well, can you, okay.
Yeah. So in terms of like our services, what we do is we do portfolio program and project management. We do the value engineering management. We do training and certification. And we also registered on New South Wales government panel for consultants in construction. So a lot of the work that we do with the government.
Sorry, so I'm really simple. Can you break that down for me in layman's terms a little bit? Like who would be your typical client and what would you do for that client?
So like like developers?
Yeah,
so if someone like wants to have
developers or?
No, councils, developers, like government agencies, So things like Transport for New South Wales is our big client. So I spent like 10 years with them just advising them on procurement of rolling stock. So all the new trains that you see in Sydney, so I've been involved in building all the trains in Sydney. I think I've got like, yeah. So these are the projects that we have been involved in. So like rolling stock, we've been involved in building new schools. I was involved for 5 years with Sydney Metro Northwest and also Sydney Metro City Southwest, the one from Castle to Bankstown, in the planning phase. Spent 3 years working with Transurban on building the new tunnels in Sydney for the road tunnels. So WestConnex, M4 East, WestConnex M4, M5 link, and the M1, M2 link.
Can I just pause you there for a minute? What was the most difficult one? Looking at those examples.
Well, there isn't difficult. It's all about like the planning of the works and getting the right team.
Great answer.
And getting the right team to do the work. So I've been lucky that all the projects I've been involved in, it's always been like within budget, on time, and to a high quality.
Fantastic.
So my current role is I'm leading the program for fixing the roads in Sydney.
Yes, we're all very grateful.
This is a huge program which the government is spending 220 million in Greater Sydney to fix all the roads.
Is that coming from the state government?
It's a state government. And it's been given to councils. So I'm dealing with 35 councils. So I've got a list of them, and then I have to communicate with them, go and visit the councils, and make sure that the money is spent in the right way. So this is a huge program, and it's to finish in February of next year. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So
I know
like-
we're all very grateful because
Yeah,
we're all
thanks.
starting to see the roads finally start to improve.
So it's all huge infrastructure projects that I get involved in. In terms of the value engineering, we work with developers because what we do is we look at the design and then we give come up with alternatives that could save the developers money. And we don't just look at the capital cost of the projects, we look at the life cycle costing as well. So if you want to buy something, you want to buy a car, you may look, I'll buy this for 10,000. It's better for me than the one for 30,000, but it may work out that the 30,000 on the life of the car is cheaper for you. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Khamsa Cafe? I mean, I'm not sure if everyone here is familiar with it. I'm very familiar with it. There's a few of us that are very familiar with it. I know that's Sarah's love, Sarah being a daughter, but talk to us about that.
Yeah, well, Khamsa is a business started by my daughter Sarah. So Sarah, when she finished school, she came to me to say, Dad, I want to go to TAFE and become a chef. And I said, no, it's not what's become a chef, you need to go to university. So she went to university. She's done, first she started with a diploma in event management, and then she did business management. So she went to work for Macquarie Bank for 6 months. And then she decided, no, this is not for me. I want to be in the kitchen. And then she started her business 5 years ago, Khamsa Cafe. It's a vegan cafe. It's got a very good rating on Google. I've got many of the members here are customers of Khamsa Cafe. Yeah. And in terms of businesses here, I've done business with one of the organizations here, so we worked together for 3 years, partnered together on government work, All-Star Solutions. But Baz is not here. And also, in terms of services and products, when I need something, I've been using services from the council, members of the council. So 10% of members of the council I have dealing with,
I actually wanted to mention that. Aabc is probably the most consistent member who, if he needs a commercial real estate agent, a broker, a solicitor, an accountant, an advisor, a marketing guru, Isa 99.9% of the time starts within the Aabc, looks up who can help him from the Aabc before he goes out and sources help or external support. It's honestly, it's such a shining, encouraging, beautiful example. Thank you.
I just want to add something here, which when I first, when we started the network, I used to always go to Hassan Musa. He was the director. And then for a few years, we didn't have an application actually, and maybe we bring it back. So an app on the phone where you get all the businesses listed there, and you do your search what business you want. So it's a good idea to bring it back.
That was actually on the to-do list. That was definitely on the to-do list.
So this is the list of the clients that we work for, for or with. Sometimes we partner with others. As I said, All-Star Solutions, we partnered with them for 3 years doing government work, and we partner with other consultants as well. And this is me on the network. I was a member of the board for 10 years, between 2006 until 2016. So these are photos, and now many of the faces here you can see are back on the board.
Yes.
Except for me.
Yes, I know. Somehow you've managed to. Don't worry, there's next year. We've got an AGM coming up in February. I'm sure that Dwayne's keen to recruit you back onto the board.
Thank you.
Is there any final points you want to leave us with before I open to questions? No? One question. Anyone want to ask a single question to Isa?
Thank you, Isa, for a very insightful speech or insight into your business and your life. You've been always a big support to the business network and the business council, as all these photos show that you were much younger 15 years ago, and we still stick together in the thick and thin. One thing I wanted to ask you, of course, as another person in business, we face difficulties in life, and in the journey of business, I'm sure you face disappointments, challenges, difficulties. How did you handle this, and how do you overcome this, and how do you turn a bad story into good, or a sad story into a happy story?
I think it's what one always, like in business, we have to look always into risk management. So we have to think all the risks that we could face in the business, and then do some mitigation strategy. Be prepared, and always look at opportunities. So like if there is an opportunity, and I always say like opportunities are always there. They never end. Now in terms of you talked about being young, we're still younger at one. To me, youth starts at 70, so we are still teenagers.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your journey with us, Aisha. Big round of applause for Aisha, please. Always a pleasure. Now, the man of the moment, as he makes his way up, I just wanted to share with everyone, I think Rodney mentioned it, half our members are actually overseas. If we have time later, I'm going to hook up my social media so that you can see the Habs, the Talibs, the Awadas, the Koltaranis, the Sayeds, and they're just off the top of my head. Either Rome, or Beirut, or Greece, living the dream. But welcome back, where is he? John, mate? Who just, was it 6 continents?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Well done. Now, without any further ado, the man of the hour, I'd like to welcome the one and only George Borsamra to the stage. So, everyone that knows George as the face of the Aabc, and I am very confident 99% of people don't quite know the mysterious George and what he does. So, without any further ado, George, would you like to share with us what the hell you do?
That is a fantastic question. Thank you very much, Jan. Quite well researched to identify that is the question that people should be asking. And that's my response to that question. Thank you very much, everybody. But in essence, this is SynCorp. SynCorp, we build synergy. We build stakeholders, and we build the future. That's where we stand. So when building synergy, it's all about building relationships. It's about leading with empathy and living in an age of transcendence. And by saying that, it means that we should have a very sharp focus on what we do and how we do it, and understand that everything that we do is for a greater good. It's not just mechanical. It's not just the things that we functionally do. If people want to take a photo of that screen, that's usually in all my presentations when I do my submission of proposals, just to get people with an understanding of the framework as to what is the mindset. It's not just marketing. It's not just hitting these KPIs. It's moving beyond that, right? But you still need to have KPIs, so you can show off how great you are. Okay, so this is an important slide over here. This is where I say no photos, please, because I'll be sharing